Good afternoon, everybody. It's Ashley Brooke again. I'm coming on to make this video. The topic is called ignoring. So if there's an inappropriate behavior, an unwanted behavior that your child is demonstrating, I'm going to teach you guys the technique of ignoring. Because a lot of parents are ignoring and they shut down real quick, and they feel that it's like the same as neglect, and it's not. So I don't know, for those of you guys who don't know, a child's behavior, so a child's behavior is motivated by the attention it receives. So children need attention, okay? So if you're not giving the attention to a particular behavior, eventually the child will be like, oh, this is not getting a response, not getting a reaction, and they will usually stop doing that behavior. And I learned this when I did this with Ozzy when he was having accidents and he was shaking the poop out on the floor and wiping it on the walls when I was napping. And as you guys can imagine, it was very frustrating. It was a lot of maintenance, a lot of cleaning, and I'm an exhausted, mom. I'm old, man. I'm so exhausted that I don't even care to fake the funk and be like, try to act like, I have a carefree or like easy life. I do not. I'm 38 years old. I put the cards on the table, and I realized that I had to really, I really had to try everything to see what I can do to help my son. Any mother or dedicated father understands what I'm saying. No one likes to see their kids struggling. So when everything else was not working, and I kept trying to do everything for him, because that's what parents usually do. When they love their child and the child can't do it, they want to do it for them because they love their kid. But it got to the point for me that I got so exhausted, and it's just like, oh my God, this is gonna be the rest of my life. And I anyone that knows me personally knows that I've been taking care of my mother my whole life until she passed. I took care of a lot of people since I was a child. I mean, I'm talking like wheelchair-bound people, cleaning, bed sore. I'm talking about, intense. So I'm exhausted now. I'm super exhausted. And now, God, blessed me with these two children, and it's necessary. It's the only way for me to have a peaceful life is for me to, suck it up and put in the work and figure this out and help them so that they can be happy and so that I can be happy. So, I'm going to go over the proper way to ignore a situation. I'm going to give a couple of examples. One was when my child was pooping, and I was just like, oh my God, Ozzy, like, again, like, oh my God, this is too much cleaning. I'm venting out loud because I'm doing this every day by myself all day long, and it's just like, oh my God, it's never gonna end. I'm just like super exhausted, and though I'm not being mean to my child, and though I'm still expressing verbally out loud, my exhaustion, because it's reached that point, and parents don't want to talk about this because they think it makes them a bad parent. It doesn't. It makes you human, and it makes, it's definitely a red flag that, it's time to try something else. So I would verbally vent, and my son, the way he would respond to that, which is very confusing for me, even though I'm on the spectrum, is his autism was a little bit different than what I experienced, because I grew up, my household when I grew up was very abusive, and they didn't acknowledge my autism. They didn't want to pay attention to any of my struggles or challenges, and they were super very mean to me. So I didn't have, though I had the challenges, I learned, out of survival to to hide my challenges, or, try my best, because it was dangerous if I didn't. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's my childhood. I feel like also I kept doing for my child because I didn't want to be like my parents, and be mean, because I knew what it felt like. But that also created this like projecting type of behavior in me, and I was, my son doesn't have the same life that I did, and it was a safe place. I mean, it is a safe place for my child to learn. So I don't need to do everything for my child. I have the understanding, I have the experience, and that should be, the tools that I need to be patient and just keep trying to help, So, I don't know, Z. So, yeah, so for example, when he did the pooping, at first, I would usually do that. That was before. And then I learned how to ignore. When he did it the second time, it was the first time after I had got this information. So he did that. I woke up. I noticed it. As before, I would have oh my God, Ozzy, get up, come on, I would have said that, and that's super incorrect. What I did after the information was, didn't say anything, just got up, calmly said, Ozzy, go into the restroom. No, not right now, Ozzy, not right now, honey, I'm explaining something. Ozzy, go into the restroom. And I went, and I cleaned up the floor. I threw it in the bag. I did not. My son's looking at me like giggling, like laughing and stuff, because he knows it's gonna get a response, and because all I did was just talk and vent. He didn't see a real consequence or a real, he was still getting what he wanted. His objective was met. He got the attention, and that is not good. You want to take away that attention, so he thinks, you want to create a different environment and different experience. I said nothing at all. I cleaned him up. I said, okay, Ozzy, take it down, his pull up, and I cleaned him. As he's giggling and trying to gaze into my eyes, I just ignored him, but I cleaned him, didn't make eye contact, didn't say anything to him at all. And then I said, okay, when he got clean, he went and I said, go sit down, and grabbed all his sheets that he dirty. And his tablet was in the bed. I got the tablet. I moved it, and I put it up top, cleaned everything. And I saw him, from a mirror, without him noticing, that he was going, concerned, what's happening? He's never experienced this before. I always pay attention to him, even when he's doing things that I don't like. And he's confused, and then he reaches Mom, I want my tablet. I said nothing. I finished cleaning. He started going like this, sad face. I ignored it. And now, I didn't want it to be too strong of a, experience as far as ignoring to where it seemed cruel. So instead, I walked to the restroom. I just became busy doing something. Okay, that's how you can do it. Put your noise canceling headphones on and just do something else. Don't be cruel. Don't be mean. Don't give them dirty looks, to make no expression at them at all. Okay? Like they're not in the room. Just do whatever you're doing. And he starts to think and learn, and he's thinking it makes him, it kind of motivates him to process more what just happened. Think about it in a different way, and that happened. Then the next morning, I gave him back his tablet in the morning after I was getting him ready, and later on, because we usually take a little nap with my daughter, after school and everything, and he did it again. He poops, but this time he got off of the bed. Okay, you want to make like the goals for your child, according to their development, and you want them to be realistic. And as long as they make even a slight bit of effort, you want to give them praise and acknowledgement. You don't want to be like, oh, you still pooped, on the restroom floor. You don't want to have that attitude. You can't just be like, oh, I didn't say that, but it's bothering me. No, you have to acknowledge that was progress, that he made an effort, and that little effort eventually, because that worked, that should make you feel good that it's going. If you can be consistent with that, ignoring technique, it will, gradually get better. So you got your one step closer. So felt good about that. So what I did was when he did that, I said, oh, Ozzy, you didn't poop on the bed. Oh, that's great. I said, and then he pooped on the floor. I said, here's a napkin, like a baby wipe. I said, pick it up, and he threw it in the trash. And I said, that's great. I said, Izzy, stop that right now. I said, I bet next time you'll wake me up. I bet next time you'll get it to the toilet, huh? And he like smiled, and then I said, okay. I said, thank you for not pooping on the bed. I'm gonna give you a star for that. And he has this little thing I'm gonna show you guys now. I have these in the restroom for my kids. They're charts. Whenever they do something, I have potty, brush teeth, bath, help Ozzy. This is Izzy's. She helps her brother. Sat on toilet, potty. If they just like model it, that's also good. Like I said, even if your child's not doing the desired thing that you want them to do, if they mimic it, if they copy it, if they get a little baby doll to sit on the fake toilet, you want to praise all those things, because those are little like steps to them getting comfortable with the idea and the thought, and they're it's kind of like imagining, they're fantasizing it, kind of like, I know it's a weird word for the situation, but they are thinking about toilet time. They are modeling it with the baby doll. Next will be very soon them would be that type of behavior. So I give them a star anyways, even if it's not efficiently done, or if it's not done exactly to my liking. I give them for the attempt and the efforts that they put to do the task. It can really discourage a child if you're like, oh, you still got poop everywhere, or if say you're telling your child to say, for example, speech. It's a little bit off the topic of ignoring, but just I want to give you another example on the praising even small or partial attempts of doing something that you want them to do. If I tell my daughter to say, come here, if she says here, I'll praise her and good job. And then if I say elephant, if they say fin, good job saying elephant. Okay, you're gonna want to still say good job and then pronounce elephant. Okay. Hi, he loves me. So let's get back to the ignoring. I just wanted to give you another example of that other part. So that is what I did for Ozzy, and then each time that he had a restroom situation, the third time he went to the restroom and stood there. So it got better and better, and I'm talking like it went from every day I'm cleaning walls and scrubbing poop off walls. You know how exhausting that is? Poop on everything. Imagine how it was like, like, oh my god. So, yeah, it was intense. I'm so glad that we don't live like that, currently. It was very tiring for me, and it was very, like, definitely couldn't have done my son any good for his self-esteem or, motivations to participate in anything else. It definitely hurt his confidence. those types of experience, you know. So another example besides potty, you know, if for example, let's see, a tantrum. So, see, a lot of people say, oh, my autistic child is experiencing tantrums. Careful, don't step on the tablet, Aussie. Be careful, it's on the floor. They'll say, oh, what do I do? My child is, you know, screaming, having tantrums. If they are trying to, if they're screaming and having a meltdown, I'll walk away. I walk away, but stay close enough to where I know she's safe. But I will not engage the tantrum. I will not say, oh, be quiet, or oh, you need to stop it, or oh, what do you want? Oh, here. I don't give my children today, you know, like now that I have all the knowledge, I don't give my children anything when they are crying. I'll say, when you calm down, you can have this. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll walk away. That allows the child to sit there, think, and cope, and realize that if they want it, they're gonna have to come and, you know, and calm down. If the child is having a major tantrum, I don't want to call them tantrums, a meltdown, you know, and they're experiencing like combined with the behavioral problem is sensory issues, I will not say anything at all when they're having that tantrum or meltdown, and I'll go and grab a bottle of water. I'll say, here, you can have a drink, calm down, let me know when you're ready. Walk away. A lot of times they try to like help the child. Helping the child, touching the child, trying to is not helping them. A child with autism is gonna get more stimulated, and they're not focusing on, you know, oh, this parent is trying to help me, or why? You tell me why you keep climbing and trying to hurt yourself. So you're gonna want to walk away. I know it's hard, but guess what? They sell noise-canceling headphones today. Yes, they do wonders. I highly suggest every parent, not just autistic parents, every parent to buy noise-canceling headphones. It actually helped me out so much in correcting my kids' behaviors, because I'm autistic too, and I have issues with sound stimulation, and people don't realize this. They're like, oh, you don't look autistic, or you don't act autistic. I do many different things to help me cope throughout my day. I've learned this over time. I'm 38 years old, so yeah, I've had a lot of practice learning my autism, and I highly suggest that for anybody that's autistic, even if you're an adult and you're still like able to, you know, manage. You still need to understand your autism so that you can understand how what works best for you, your learning style, you know, so that you can reach your full potential. I don't think that autism is anything to be cured. It's not a disease. We're just different, and it's beautiful. You know, differences are beautiful. You know, and it's good for us just to learn, understand ourselves, understand the way our bodies work, because not just our behavioral is a aspect of the autism. It's also your medical health. So you really, really need to understand your body. Everybody does, autistic or not. So I'm gonna go over. Let's see if we can think of one more scenario where ignoring is a thing. Ignoring technique would work. So. Say, I'm trying to think of one.
Mommy.
Yes, beautiful girl. Oh, may I?
Mom.
Money. It's a dime. So another one would be money. Another one, I guess, would be if you're a child. Okay, if you're trying to put your child to sleep and they have a sleeping disorder associated with the autism, or they're overly stimulated because certain sensories are being stimulated while bedtime is occurring. So I realized this with my son. usually when my son was younger, I'd be like, oh, he has trouble sleeping. I'm gonna go buy scented candles, make it relaxing. I bought that little like what's it called? The little, is it an awning? Is that what it's called? Like the little like curtains over the bed. I bought the little lights that go on the ceiling with stars. I thought I was gonna make it relaxing for him. It made him more stimulated, and it was the opposite effect. And I was like, oh my God, nothing's working to help my son sleep. And then as he started to get older, I started to realize because the maintenance and the cleaning, the basic routine was it was more work. So I'd lay him down and I would start picking up the room. And I realized that as I'm picking up the room, I'm not paying attention to him. He's just laying there waiting for me. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna give you a massage in a second, okay? That's another thing I do for my son, give him a massage every night. And I realized that if I'm ignoring him, but in the room, but not in a mean way, but just, busy or doing something, distracted by something, he will go to sleep. He'll go right to bed and put himself right to sleep. So ignoring really works for so many things. If there's another scenario that you want to ask questions about, if that technique works for it, go ahead and message me. I'm on Facebook. You can add me as a friend. You can also message me in the comments. Subscribe to my channel. Ignoring really works for autistic children. Just make sure that when they start to do the behavior that you desire, that you praise them and give them the acknowledgement. Give them a star, let them see it visually, like a chart, like how reward charts work. And always if they do just a little bit, oh, that's great. I bet next time you're gonna get it, okay? But you have to be consistent. That's the thing. A lot of parents will say, oh, you gotta do this, gotta do that, and then they're not consistent. A lot of parents be like, oh, we're potty training, but then they don't they still put them in the pull-ups, and then they don't take the time. And then they also don't go and set a timer. You have to go and record your child bowel movements, usual times, and around those times, I do my son in the early morning, sit on the toilet. I do it around, he just sat on the toilet a second ago, around this time, and I'll do it closer to, and then I have it written on my mirror, and he'll just sit there, even if he doesn't have to go, he sits there with his tablet for, tell him to sit there for 5-10 minutes. If I see that he doesn't have to go, then around 7 minutes, I'll be okay, you can get down. I'll ask him, but a lot of times he don't want to get down, and he'll be like trying to push, and it's working, and you can't just expect him oh, you use the toilet, now I expect to do no one to go walk to the restroom, and I expect you to, tell me when you have to go. No, you still have to gradually support them until they get to that point. And the way you do it, where they're not pooping and peeing in their diapers, is throughout the day when you're just in the house, put them in boxers, put them in the underwear, and tell them and you'll come to find that they usually will pee. They might pee in their underwear, but the poop one they will eventually, as soon as they pooped once or twice in the underwear, they're gonna go and make it to that restroom because they don't want to poop on their skin and the underwear. It's uncomfortable. So they will definitely, you just got to give it a week or so. So that I'm gonna end this now just because I want to do different topics and I don't want to put it all into one. So that's what I have to say. Let's see if I missed anything. Let's see. So it's definitely a difficult one to do for parents because parents always give in. Attention. Okay. Understand that the importance of distractions coupled with ignoring. So you're gonna want to distract yourself so that you're not ignoring aggressively, angry. It's just no attention. That means no bad, no good attention, no attention at all, no acknowledgement of the person there. It has to just be walk away, pretend you're busy, talk to someone else, put your noise canceling headphones on, read a book. Don't give it attention, but don't be cruel. Okay, that's emotional abuse. Just make sure you don't make that confusion. And if the child's arguing, whining, my daughter's doing it right now. Let's practice real fast before I end this video. You don't want to ignore. Okay. Oh yeah. One more thing. You don't want to ignore the child if they're nonverbal, because then that can. Okay. You don't want to ignore them if they're trying to express a need or a want. Okay. Because that will make them feel like, oh, well, they don't understand me. I'm not getting what I want, and it's going to discourage them from trying to communicate. So you prompt them to speak instead. You want to take a bath? You want to go in the bath? Say bath.
Bath.
Bath, you hear? You want to go in the bath? Bath?
Bath.
Yeah. You want the water on? Wawa?
Bath.
Oh, sure. See, when the child speaks and they want something, see, I could have been like, oh, she's crying, that's unwanted behavior. Make sure you evaluate the situation and observe it. Don't just jump to conclusions and be like, oh, she's being bad, she's crying. Nonverbal kids, they can't speak, so they will make sounds to try to get your attention. So, you have to make sure that you know what kind of cry it is. Is it a behavioral cry? Is it them trying to express that they need something or want something? There's a difference, and you really need to pay attention to that because it's very important. See, right now, if I wanted to just assume, oh, she's crying, that's annoying, be quiet, I'm just gonna ignore her, I'm just gonna, no, but I walked over here, and guess what? I would have missed out on that opportunity to teach her, speech. And this is a good motivation, good motivator. So. But you have to, in order for it to be effective and a learning experience, you have to tell them to ask for it if they want it. And then once they say it, then you can give it to them. Don't just give it to them until they express. Try to first see if you can get them to say the word. Just human behavior. When you want something, that's the biggest motivator. Like, I want that, and it'll make a child say it because they want it. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching my channel. If there's any questions, just please ask me. Yeah, I really know what it's like to be autistic. I am autistic. I have so many challenges, so many misunderstandings. Trouble making friends, bullies. And for a long time in my life, I was like, people thought I was aggressive, and they thought I was rude. I was either too nice or too mean. You want this? Yes. Get it down. Okay. And I definitely know that I know what I'm saying. I don't just know it like textbook because I'm educated. I know it from personal experience. And I don't want children, with autism to do it out of fear. I don't want the child to comply to fear. ABA is so messed up for they're all about getting the child to obey instead of getting the child to solve their own problems, think, and cope. And it's like, what is going on? That's so weird to me. How's this child gonna be able to navigate life later? How's this child gonna be able to, know when they're being targeted or, in dangerous situations? They're not. They're taught just to obey. They're not, giving them the opportunity to learn new things. They're shutting it down. And it's like, that's the whole way that our brains work. We need to be able to use it. So weird. A lot of professionals don't know what they're saying about autism, and I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. Maybe some have the right heart, but some of them are just too busy focusing on that feeling of importance. Oh, I'm a therapist. I know what I'm saying. Oh, I have a noble job. I work with special needs children. Keep an open mind and listen and hear it, Hear the reviews from an autistic person. Because neurotypicals, you cannot say what it feels like. And just because I'm listening doesn't mean that I'm listening with positive stimulation. I might be listening because it's the only way to get you away from me, So it's a big problem, with society right now and mental health and please stop saying autism is they categorize us with mental health and I hate that people keep saying it's mental health. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I don't like that. It offends me. I am not, mentally unstable. I'm in reality. I do not have episodes of psychosis. I don't have manipulating, deceitful, or depressed behaviors. I don't have any, struggle in that. A lot of times it has to do with my medical or my sensory stimulation, which has nothing to do with the way I, perceive the world. So it's a lot of misinformation out there. That's why there's a lot of, a lot of autistic people and struggling and no acceptance and not enough funding because they've thrown us in the category of mental illness and all the mental illness funding for mental health is put into like drug rehabs and mental hospitals. So we don't belong in either one of those. There's no category, there's no separate category of funding for autistic people. Okay? It's a bunch of baloney. Ba boo. Okay. Well, you heard it from an autistic person. Subscribe to my channel. I bet you we overcome a lot of these barriers.